Well, for more on Yao Ming's impact, I'm joined by Jon Abrams. He's author of Boys Among Men, How the Prep to Pro Generation Redefined the NBA and Sparked a Basketball Revolution. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Now, Jon, help us get some perspective here. Just how influential was Yao Ming for the growth of the NBA in China and beyond?
I don't think his impact can be overstated. He opened the door globally for billions of people to become NBA fans, and his legacy and impact is going to have a big effect on the league for a long, long time.
Now, what about quantifying it? Is there a way to quantify perhaps the financial impact that Yao Ming brought to the success of the NBA in China?
I mean, there is. You see teams traveling there, and the fans know the teams inside and out. I just think the interest is so much heightened ever since Yao came into the league. And you see the all-star ballots, and when Yao was playing, Houston Rockets players, even if they were bench players, were way, way up there on the all-star ballots. So his legacy is just here to stay.
Now, apart from his huge stature at 7'6", Yao was also known for his calm demeanor and really carrying himself with a sense of class as a real representative. How do you think this helped him both as a player in Houston and in the NBA as a whole?
Well, I think it helped him a lot. He had a very, very calm demeanor. And I think if he didn't have that, especially early on in his career, it could have damaged him. He had to be calm when he came into the league because a lot of people didn't understand him, didn't understand his nature or his culture. And some people said offensive things. Guys like Shaquille O'Neal and Phil Jackson early on said some offensive things, and Yao kind of just let it roll off him and helped to educate people and just moved right along. And I think it helped kind of bridge that gap in that way.
And being this cultural ambassador, are there other examples perhaps of foreign-born players making their mark in their native countries, such as Dirk Nowitzki in Germany and Manu Ginobili in Argentina?
Yeah, they definitely have as well, and Dirk Nowitzki is huge as far as bringing Germany into the NBA game. But, you know, I just think the scope and magnitude of Yao will never be touched in that way again.
And why do you think that is?
Just because the amount of people that have become interested in basketball since Yao went into the NBA. I mean, he was a guy who was groomed from the NBA from a very early age, and you look at a guy like Yao, and he's not a small guy. He's a guy who can dominate, and he did dominate for a long time. It's just a shame that his career was cut short due to injuries.
That's right. Now, looking at the league globally, in 1992 really marked where the NBA became a global brand with the Barcelona Olympics. So how important were those games when it comes to the growth of the NBA?
And that was huge. That was a point where guys like Dirk Nowitzki or guys overseas kind of saw the NBA game for the first time. They saw guys like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan kind of grow the game in that way, and they saw the beauty of the game. For so long, soccer has been the global game, and basketball kind of inched its way into that territory at that point in time. So I would say that the two biggest impacts globally have been the '92 Olympics and Yao Ming's inclusion into the National Basketball Association.
Now, as you mentioned soccer, or football in my home country, you also have these sports that are very hugely popular in China, but we've only seen a few Chinese stars really playing in the top international leagues. How important do you think it is for fans to really see themselves represented in these star players?
I think it's big, and I think it's how you can become relatable as a fan and seeing somebody who looks like you play that sport. That's always something that's big. And just one other thing real quick in the whole Yao transformation and how he impacted and affected basketball. I think it's also very interesting how it hasn't been just one way. Other guys like Tracy McGrady and Stephon Marbury, I think, have gone to play in China and have been popular. And I think that's also a reflection of Yao's impact.
Now, another trend that we're seeing is individuals as brands. We've seen it with David Beckham, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, and now with the likes of the newer class with Kobe Bryant and LeBron James. So in terms of being a global brand, is it more important to be the best in your sport or perhaps just be popular for your looks and your personality?
Well, I mean, it's best for them to go hand in hand. You know, it always helps to have championships, and I think players like Steph Curry on the Warriors right now are kind of seeing that. If you're the best, then your brand is going to grow out in that fashion.
All right, we'll have to leave it there, but thank you so much for joining us, author Jon Abrams.